I mean, I think like remember like a couple of years, like it was probably 2009 and 2010. There was this like awkward phase in digital where people were like, yeah, throw $500 on the Facebook page. And it was really hard to do business as a digital guy because nobody took digital seriously. And now it's like the whole campaign. That's what's going to happen with AI. Eventually, your entire campaign is going to be an AI campaign.
If you were rebuilding right now, if you were saying like, what?
Can I be real? If I was rebuilding right now, it wouldn't look like a firm.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get to. Yeah.
It would look like a talent agency.
This is going to be the first edition of the Push AI podcast. The point is that we have been having these conversations over the course of the last year, certainly the last 6 months. 2025 has been a crazy year for absorbing everything that's going on with AI, trying to figure out how to keep up with it and then implement a lot of it. And as these conversations have materialized internally and they've become more and more frequent, I just thought it'd be a good idea. I think we all thought it'd be a good idea to share what we're thinking. And so that is the purpose of this podcast, is to kind of give our company a platform to talk a bit about AI and the coming changes that we're going to be implementing over the course of the cycle. And I think that that's like the headspace is something I really want to talk to you about, Phil. Like, what is the headspace right now as the managing partner at a big political firm and facing down a lot of these challenges that we're facing?
I think I don't know, maybe it was about 6 months ago. I'd been using AI every day, but it was like, oh, sweet, a new enchilada, recipe. It was like casual use with an AI assistant I was basically dropping my cognitive weight onto just to do things. And it transitioned really hard. It took a hard turn about, I don't know, maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, where it was very apparent to me that the technology caught up, and I was like, okay, they're right. And every day I've just been thinking about what this means for this business that I've spent 10 years curating and meticulously cultivating, and what it means for the industry, what it means for our employees, and ultimately, what it means for the product that we create. And we've taken some of the steps over the past several months to integrate AI into every part of Push with varying degrees of success. I mean, I want to be vulnerable and real about that.
Right.
Not everything has been totally successful, but a lot of it has been really great. And a lot of that has been Bonnie. I think what was it like 2 months ago where I was like, hey, you need to catch your team up to speed. Talk us through a little bit about your journey and how that's developed.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the production space for about 8 years now. I started in live production and then came to Push. And when I was a video editor when I started. We, on the video team, we were transcribing videos and typing captions manually, putting them over the videos. That was 90% of my job, was doing that for all of our clients.
The reason you exist at Push Digital Group now is obsolete.
Yeah. But the video team is the same size as when I started at Push in 2017. It is still the same size but our workload has only increased. Our product output has only increased.
Yeah.
It's because there's been these tools that have been baked into our programs. We use top of the line software like Adobe Premiere Pro, Final Cut. There is auto AI transcription captions when there didn't used to be. But I think that's just an example across the wide terrain we cover in the production department.
Right. That's just one instance, but it's completely transforming the production team.
Yeah. It saves so much manual time, and it's more accurate than 22-year-old Bonnie just kind of listening to what state senators are saying,
Right.
I always say it's like, AI, for some reason, it decided to come for the creative jobs first. It didn't like tackle laundry and dishes. It went right after art.
I know, dude.
It was wild. And I think that, that's where we started, right, Bonnie? I mean, it was thinking about how can we level up production for like kind of the transparency of this podcast. We were a 40-ish person company. Now we are an 80-ish person company. That happened in 2023 when we joined up with Campaign Solutions. But our production team through that process actually did not grow. So we've been implementing a lot of the production side stuff at Push for almost 2 years. And I think that what Phil is talking about, Corey, is something that you can speak to. It is caught up in a way that is not just production now, but also strategy. It is
creative
analysis. It is, even we've got the opportunity to do, 24/7 media buy. We're day trading media at this point. What have you seen happen since you've been here, Corey?
Yeah, no, that's great. I feel like, I guess right now I'm thinking about this in two buckets in my head. One is kind of what we can do today that actually brings value to our clients. And then secondly, what's it going to look like in 2 or 3 years? Because I think we all have kind of the internet as our baseline in terms of how the internet grew over many, many years. It was like a 20-year journey. And I think we all have to be prepared for the fact that this journey is going to be much faster. Everybody in our company is using this for their own things, both personal and professional, every day. I literally 5 minutes ago, we're doing a presentation in July, and someone asked me, what's the title of your presentation? And I don't have a title. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, here's the presentation I'm doing. Here's what some of the points are. Give me a title. And it got me the 85%. I adjusted it a little bit and sent it back. And they said, this is amazing. Like that's a task that might have taken 30 minutes. And so that's a very practical example, but it's a real example in when you add all those little moments up, they yield massive production capabilities and massive improvements. So I do think, I know we've all talked about this a lot. I think my perspective is let's communicate to our clients what's very practical right now, what can get done really well and quickly, and it's very tangible. They can really see it, like, great, that works. But then we have to, at the same time, on a parallel track, be talking about what it's going to look like in 1 year and 2 years and 3 years, so we can make sure that we're doing everything we can for our clients. So that, I think my brain is bouncing every day between both of those buckets of, wow, what's this going to look like, VO3 and all of these amazing videos, and how do they impact us today, to what's the title of a presentation. I think that's part of me. That's what's powerful about the tool in general, is that it can service such a broad landscape of tasks for all of us. So that and everybody will use it a little differently. So that's kind of the high level. That's where my head's at.
Yeah, in a practical sense, Phil, like we are immersed in this stuff. I always like. I think that what I try and remember is that just because my information sources and the people that I talk to and my Twitter feed is full of AI conversation, not everybody has really caught up to speed yet. I don't think everybody is as immersed, but like, is it even practical at this point to not be diving into AI and trying to use it as a solution?
You have to right? do this. And here's why. We are, it feels like the 1890s, and like Edison and Tesla are like, in the 1890s, they're previewing their alternating currents and light bulbs. And, you've got like a world's, the World's Fair feelings where people are like going to these things and they're seeing how electricity is going to impact their lives. Right.
Right.
But damn mammalian brains couldn't see that like this was going to change everything. And eventually it was going to lead to like them being able to FaceTime their grandchildren across continents.
Yes.
And I feel like we're there right now. Like, oh, it's cool. It can make a video, you know? But I don't think we've really been able to stretch it out to its logical conclusion. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to see, like, where does this thing take my business? And that's the struggle right now, is like, it can go a lot of different ways. And I get anxious over it, but then I get excited over it. This is like, it's like a wave. It's like a roller coaster of emotions that it's taking me through.
Bonnie, I did a conversation with our friend Eric Wilson. This was probably a year and a half ago. And he was asking me, like, how do you use AI? Like, give me some practical, like, day-to-day basis. And I was trying to be sort of a subject matter expert at that time. I mean, if you were using ChatGPT, you were kind of qualified as one. I was trying to come up with all these use cases. I was like, yeah, like Corey said, like, you can come up with titles, or but like, on a practical sense, there is a new layer of AI that we've started to integrate into the company, and there's probably no more like tangible place that we've done it than it on the production side to start with. Tell me, like, practically, without giving away too much of the secret sauce, like, how much this has infiltrated the production team. And when I say production, I'm talking about our core competencies of design, video, and development.
Yeah, I think well, first off, like, off what Phil said, I think, like, you need vision to use these tools to their maximum capacity. Some of the stuff the specialists on my teams have been able to make because they know the right questions to ask is insane. I don't think, like, a Joe Schmo off the street could get an end product of some of these, like, highly complicated engineering feats, which I'm about to talk about, that they can, because they know what to ask. But I think I have 3 departments. The first is development, then design, then video, where we are seeing it the fastest and the most, and we are using it the most, and it is there, like, it is there today, is development. And it is basically just leveling up our development products, and it is eliminating a lot of the manual stuff. Like, once a month, we go through all of our sites, we check in on them, we make sure everything's working, everything's good. AI does all of that, and it's super, like, prompt with letting us know if something is wrong. If someone is hacking our site from Russia, we know immediately because we have AI monitoring all of our sites.
All the time. Right.
All the time. Whereas, like, again, when I started here 8 years ago, we would manually go through each site every month to make sure, we have thousands of sites to make sure everything is looking good. It's a level of, it helps us beef up just as it's making hackers smarter, it's helping us be more secure, more on top of things, keeping our products just safer and better, I think is the most practical use case so far.
I feel like that is, eventually we're going to start to be able to put numbers around that and percentages around that. Like, the team is 40% more efficient. So there's 40% more time to focus on other things, right? And help our clients in other ways. Speed is not every business is like ours. In our business, speed really matters. So let's go back to Phil's A/B example. A/B testing is nothing new. Yeah. We've been doing A/B testing forever, but the ability to do that in real time at a speed that works for our clients is a difference maker. It's the difference between, when I look at AI right now, and I may be a little bit, I think some of you guys think of this a little bit more 30,000 foot, which we need. I find myself, fortunately or unfortunately, sitting in the 10,000 foot range a lot, because I just see all the practical ways that this can help us and move us forward just on a day-to-day basis. And the way I look at it is, if you add up all those productivity savings across an entire company, across an entire election cycle, that is really significant. Not to open up a whole nother window on this, but maybe the one 30,000 foot view I've thought of more than others is the idea of, what does it mean to a company when you can do things quicker, faster, cheaper? And I think there's 2 schools of thought. One school of thought is that, well, then you don't need as many people. And I'm not sure that's true. I think what it does allows you to help more clients better with the same amount of people. Bonnie was alluding to that earlier. We've had all this extra work, but we haven't grown our team. I think those efficiencies allow you to have more clients and service them much better.
What it does, Corey, it democratizes the kind of clients we would take on in the first place, right? Like, I mean, this is me being as vulnerable with a lot of strangers right now, but like, we're not built for a state house race. Like, it's been very hard for us to scale down. You want us to do a presidential race? You want us to do a Senate race? And we're going to be very efficient at dealing with that sort of scenario. Like, somebody running for mayor of Chattanooga isn't going to get the best version of push digital. And what AI does, it says, no, actually they can, because we have the time and we have the bandwidth and we have the tools that will allow that scale to scale the type of work we do for a smaller client to Senate and presidential level.
Yeah. I mean, we're in the whole digital business, right? Push Digital is named on this. It was a revolutionary communications disruptor, right? And most every digital guru in 2006, 7, 8, they were talking about, this is disruption and this is going to change everything.
Well, Joe Wilson screams "you lie" at President Obama during that State of the Union, and Wesley was able to raise $3 million overnight, and everybody was like, "What the F?"
So we've also seen like the rise of a particular type of candidate because of digital. And I'm wondering what type of candidate are going to win. Who is going to win in this cycle because of these tools? Like, who wins?
Let me take it. Okay, this is all sci-fi BS, but this is a podcast, so we can do that
about AI. So you can just get into it, man.
But okay, so my brain can't handle this kind of conversation because it wants to jump, it wants to leap. And so I'll spend time thinking about how this technology impacts the business. But eventually, where my brain always goes is, wait, we're a political company. Are we going to even have elections when this thing, like 10 years from now?
Let's hope so.
When the AI is better than Chuck Grassley? Like, why elect a human? Is the whole industry at stake? Yeah. And I know that sounds crazy.
That's 80,000 feet.
But just like it's like people wearing hoop skirts in 1890 couldn't look at those alternating currents and those light bulbs and visualize the internet. I don't think we can actually visualize where this is headed. All we can do is just like, we're like Lucy at the Bonbon Factory. We have to just keep up with it for right now. That's how I feel.
Yeah. And that's a much more colorful way of sharing what I was saying. Like, I agree. Like, that is the challenge, is where I do think one thing is clear for every company that does what we do. If you're not implementing this at every level and have a process that's growing, and you're not talking about
100%
every day, you will be behind the curve. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but within a year. By the next election, you will absolutely be behind the curve. And so I appreciate the commitment that everyone has made.
Prediction.
Yeah.
Prediction. This is Monday, June 9th. Before the end of the election, every U.S. Senate race and every governor's race is going to want an AI expert on their campaign. It's going to be somebody either in-house or somebody they hire to keep up with the AI stuff. And that is because when you put together a campaign, everything touches AI at this stage. Basically, except for a candidate on the stump, AI is going to impact elections.
Bold prediction.
I mean, I think like remember like a couple of years, like it was probably 2009 and 2010. There was this like awkward phase in digital where people were like, yeah, throw $500 on the Facebook page. And it was really hard to do business as a digital guy because nobody took digital seriously. And now it's like the whole campaign. That's what's going to happen with AI. Eventually, your entire campaign is going to be an AI campaign.
If you are rebuilding right now, If you were saying like, what?
Can I be real? Can I be real? If I was rebuilding right now, it wouldn't look like a firm.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get to. Yeah.
It would look like a talent agency.
Yes. Okay. How do you mean? Tell me more about that.
Okay. If I was building the firm of the future, I would look for people who had unique skills and taste. So like political acumen and taste, I think, are going to make the AI better, right? Like everybody can use AI, but it's the people behind the AI that make the outputs really good. And so if I was looking to build a firm, I would hire a really great prompt engineer who knew web dev. I'd do the same thing for video. I'd hire like the spiciest meme lord who was like a prompt whiz, but like specialized talent who could take their brain power and put it into prompts. But it would not be like, okay, there's a web dev team and there's an advertising team. No. Really, you're looking for stellar political consultants and tastemakers who are able to deliver really great creative using AI agents.
Bonnie, do you already see the team changing?
I mean, yeah, I think like one thing that we've done on the production team is just like this learning hype about AI that Phil instilled in me, and then I've been instilling in my team. It's just like the only way to stay on top of everything, because like I'm one person, Phil's one person. We have a team here, so what we're doing is we're like, they can all 12 people on the production team can keep up with trends way more than just Bonnie can.
So Phil, you talk the word prompt engineer is not really in our world. I think the key, maybe in the short term, is, and again, we're all speculating here, but I think the key in the short term is that I think just because you can put a prompt into Chat GPT or whatever the tool you're using is, doesn't make it an output that somebody really wants. Like,
there are going to be people who are really good at creating prompts. Everybody's going to do it, but there are going to be people who are really good at it. And the people who are really good at it are the ones who take the time every single day. I mean, I've noticed even my usage of AI.
Yeah.
It's like an inverted pyramid, right? In the beginning, it's like any real normal relationship. In the beginning, I had to give it a lot of information in order to get the outputs I wanted. But as time goes on, my instructions to the AI are more acute because it knows what I want. And that it's being able to become really good at this isn't going to replace your talent, but only some people are going to make that connection.
And the really scary thing that we looked at last week, there are going to be campaigns that think we've got it figured out. We'll just use these platforms. And Eric showed us a model. Eric, who is our who runs our
director of advertising.
Right. He showed us if he would have applied no acumen, he would have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars based on the AI's recommendation.
Right.
There are some tremendous landmines and pitfalls that you can jump on, and it's not just like the quality of the video. It is burning your hard-earned campaign funds accidentally. If you don't, I think that, one of the things that I wanted to mention is that we have always sort of tried to cultivate these relationships with our clients, that we are not these waiters that run to the table at an inexpensive fast food or Mexican restaurant and say, hey, like, what do you need? Bring your waters. Here's some more chips, no beans and extra rice and all that kind of stuff. We're not just taking orders. We are very much trying to apply like all of these tools and all of this opportunity to our clients in like a kind of a fine dining experience where we come in.
Yeah, I'm Jiro, man. I make something very special.
Very special. What we have sort of specialized in is creating this team of problem solvers over the course of the duration of the agency, but especially over the last 4 or 5 years. We are no longer just like taking the prompt from the client and solving it on our end to their specification. We are often elevating it. We are testing it. We are improving it. We are a lot of the times just outright convincing them that their idea is not great because there's such a better way to do things.
Right.
And what I think that problem solving idea is kind of is what is going to separate the winners and the losers over the course of this election cycle. Because if you do try and silo all your departments, if you do keep analytics out of your creative team, if you do keep strategy out of your advertising team, if you do kind of keep all these players, the VP sales folks never really talk to the account managers. If you keep all those siloed and nobody is sort of cross-analyzing everything that has to be done, we're going to see so much scale happen. And we're going to see so much sort of delusion of taste and delusion of quality and delusion. Like, you're going to see so much of that it's very much the same as, like, you know, if they came in right now to professional baseball and just said steroids are legit, like everybody can take them. Everybody can take steroids all at once.
They should do.
Then everybody is taking steroids, and it's just the new level playing field.
I want to see some home runs.
That's another podcast.
Everybody's going to take everybody. If everybody's taking steroids, they're just going to push the fence back, you know? And so this is what is happening. As we're learning, we're watching the fence get pushed back and back and back. And I think that's where our opportunity is. There's going to be a lot more folks that are trying to win with this, and a lot more folks that are trying to use AI and sort of just say, this is how it has to be done. But I think that we run circles around them because, one, we've got a head start, and two, we've got this team of problem solvers that is looking at things much more. They can be much more effective with these tools than your random campaign operative.
Yeah, but I feel like this is where I think our strength can be, is continue to experiment, because there'll be that moment, just like with any technology, where something happens and people are like, oh, that's a way this can be used that is a game changer. Just like online fundraising, just like, you know, there's a ton of examples of how this can happen, where I feel like that I think our goal is to continue to iterate and use this in every area. And we're gonna hit the 3 or 4 things that, okay, these 10 things are good, but these 3 things are great.
Well, I mean,
we don't have that process cascading down through our whole company, which is what we're doing. Firms will miss those moments.
I completely agree with you, Corey. The moments that this company that are magical right now, and that is the word. It's magical because the technology is so advanced that it feels like wizardry. It feels like we're at freaking Hogwarts right now. But, like, for instance, it's the cross pollination moments that are amazing. To give you an example, the AI A/B testing agent that I created, that is like delivering insane results. Like I created it because I saw Holly on our web dev team create a web dev agent that like popped up new landing pages in 10 seconds. And I was like, that process can be applied over here for something I do. And even though I'm not a web developer and Holly is not a communications expert, the cross applicable sort of like synergy there, just me seeing it prompted me to do something different. And I think we're seeing that all across our company. And that is what's really exciting to me.
I think it comes back to vision, like we've been talking about. If you have the vision, if you have the creativity, it's going to set your product apart because the tools are there to make it. Like we've always done, I mean, our director of political, Jared, he has always made the craziest, wackiest memes. And he's just using AI to amplify what he's doing. It's like everything is going to look the same if you just use a standard prompt. And to stand out in this like overcrowded, popular internet landscape we're in, you have to be creative and you have to be strategic, like to another level.
We are sort of at this tipping point where so much content is going to be created and so much of it is going to be hard to discern between what is real and what is fake. There are, like you said, there are a lot of ways that AI can go, but we have decided as a company to stake our claim and say, this is the path forward. I think that my curiosity is in this place. We have got a team that is very much figured out how to create efficiencies on the individual level. Each individual at our company is figured out, whether it's just using ChatGPT or all the way up to, experimenting with Make and N8N and building agents that can accomplish complicated tasks. Does anybody have any predictions about where this will go over the course of the next 2 years to kind of wrap things up and put a bow on this before we get
this is what I love. And then and that's another prediction. This is bold. It's going to eliminate bullshit titles. So people that you've worked with in the past who don't really do anything are the most likely to completely fail in this new environment. And it's because you're going to have to be creative. You're going to have to, your neural pathways are going to have to expand in order to compete in this, like in elections, in the marketplace, in advertising. Everybody's going to have to be Rick Rubin. Everybody's going to have to be a tastemaker in order to survive. And so if you are just like middle management, chilling, trying to get by, and you've succeeded and you've made, several $100,000 a year with your cushy job, you are screwed. Like this is about to rock your world. Retire today.
I disagree that I don't think it's middle management. I think it's entry-level jobs. Because you have to have the background to make these things and the experience. And I think it's people at the top who can't make a pitch deck themselves. I think everyone in between who has some experience, but also
I agree with that,
isn't too good to do the dirty work is going to be successful.
Everybody's going to have to do the dirty work. Like, I'm the guy who picks up his bags and moves to the Senate race and lives with the candidate. Like, I still like to do that. And so people who are hands-on people, they're going to take to this like a fish in water. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
But if you don't actually like to do work, you're kind of screwed.
And I agree. And I also think that, Brian, you're saying kind of where's this going? I think, I don't know if there's agreement around this group in this. I think there is. We've all been in this business for a long time. I think every industry is different. Every industry is going to be impacted differently. In our industry, our candidates tend to not be on the bleeding edge. I hope what we do as a part of this is make our company move faster and do better for our clients. And at the same time, I hope the opportunity we have is to educate. You've all used 5 or 6 terms today, and maybe I have too, that none of our clients have ever even heard of.
Yeah.
They've heard of AI, clearly.
Right.
But agents and the companies you mentioned and all these things that I think over the next 18 months, if we do our job well, a push AI process filters through our entire company and makes us better at every level. But I think also success is helping clients that can be a little bit old school, that we help them level up in their understanding. Because I think the one thing that you've probably all experienced that I have is when you sit with a candidate, if you explain it, here's what we can go from A to B, and here's how this new tool helps us. They're all really smart people, and they go, "That's a great idea. Do that."
Right.
It's not that they're not willing to go there. It's that no one sits and explains to them how to go there and why it benefits and how it helps them get more votes. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, there's a winner and a loser. And so, how do we help our clients win more than they would have with this technology? To me, sits at the top of this tree. And now let's work our way down. And I think we can help our clients see that and open that up in a robust way where they're really looking through this and going, now I get it. You do this, your prompt engineer allows you to do these 4 things, and that's better than it was. Got it. Like, I think if we don't do that, we do run the risk of making this feel amazing and magical, but also untouchable. And people are risk averse in any industry, but in our industry, I think there is some risk.
Technology shouldn't change your ethics, right?
Yeah.
Like you should, like, we're a good company. We don't screw people over and we don't lie to people. there are going to be people who try to use this nefariously, and it's going to give it some stink. And we're going to have to do double the work basically to prove to people that this is the future, and this is where we have to move if we want to compete. That's actually the crux of it. This is why I think adaption is going to be quick, and it's going to be like before the November 2026 election for every campaign, is because people want to win. What drives this industry is winning elections, and anything that gives you an edge gets adapted in politics. It is the speed at which this is going to be adapted that is different than, say, digital fundraising or modeling. All the technologies that impact the political industrial complex, of all of them, this is the one that's going to be like tomorrow.
Yeah. So look, if you're a candidate that is a bit more old school,
right,
we are earnestly and actively trying to level up our company so that we can level up your campaign. If you are a scrappy upstart that is ready to run the first fully automated AI-enhanced campaign with a bunch of robot agents that handle everything, we have started to put together the tools and the practices that we can sit down with you and we can help you build that machine probably better than anyone else in the industry.
That's correct.
And I guess lastly, if you are listening AI and you're deciding to run yourself,
right,
Godspeed.
Right. Hey, let me put this out there. Like, the reason we're doing this podcast is because these conversations need to happen, and they need to happen often at Push Digital. And so we're going to invite people like Corey from the political department. We're going to have people from our advertising department, and we're just going to have a rolling conversation here at Push Digital about what AI means for us as a company, and what it means for our clients, and what it means for the future of politics. And I'm so happy to be doing this with all of you guys.
Yeah, same. It's exciting.
I think that if you are looking to talk with some AI experts for whatever quote unquote, this is the new digital guru, is like the prompt engineer and the AI expert, right? Like this is moving at the speed of light. We are doing everything that we can to innovate and improve and keep up as things move at the speed of light. But if you are just dabbling, if you are just getting started, if you are curious, if you are trying to figure out how you can 10x, 100x your reach and your access to the electorate and your production abilities, reach out. Push Digital is here, and we will talk to you soon.